Hi, gorgeous soul family. Welcome to Eringy. I am Erin. I have what I consider a pretty powerful yoga practice for you today, and it's to assist in helping you release and let go. So if you're just feeling something that you are like, oh my gosh, I want to get rid of this and I don't know how, if you're experiencing that, or if you have a memory that is just it's hard, it's very hard to just kind of accept it, forgive it, and let that go. Or even if it's sort of a theme, if it's something that keeps kind of happening, repeating itself over and over. Or you're just feeling like your body's holding on to something as well. So if, if you fit into any of those categories, then this yoga practice can really, really be beneficial for you. So grab yourself 2 blocks. If you don't have blocks handy, just grab some blankets or even a pillow, and just if they can be roughly, it doesn't have to be, but roughly the same sort of thickness as a standard block. That could be nice and helpful. So you will be using those 2. And of course, roll out your beautiful mat, and then we'll get started. All right, beautiful. Let's come down to child pose. Making your way here in any way you choose. So if you want to do sort of like a wide-legged child pose, or just your standard where the legs are together, feel free to do that. And then when you're all good, just take some breaths. No need to force the breaths, just allow them to just naturally flow through. And just notice how you're feeling in this moment. We're just going to honor where you're at right now. So if you are feeling a bit of tightness, a bit of tension in the body, if your mind is going a little bit overthinking, if you're just feeling like it's really, really challenging to let whatever it is that's bothering you go, then just sink into this pose and just let yourself be okay with that. Be okay with this moment. Can you allow your forehead to just basically drop down onto the mat or the floor beneath you? Can you allow your shins, the tops of your feet, to do the same? And maybe even your arms as well. Now I invite you to connect with one thing that you're finding difficult to release and let go. Maybe this is a memory that you're holding onto, or a current situation that you're faced with. Maybe it's an emotion, or just a general theme that continues to play out in your life. And just bring that to the forefront of your mind. And it's okay to connect with it despite it feeling uncomfortable. Maybe the body feels a little resistant to connect with that. But just in your own time, while you're here in Shavasana, just remind yourself that you are here in this present moment.
You're safe and supported. And that whatever this challenge is that you're faced with right now, you do have the ability, the courage, the strength to let it go. Take a few deep, full breaths in, full breath out. Inhale. And in your own time, just let it go. On your next in-breath, come up onto all fours, tabletop.
Just nice and slowly. Just feel that steadiness, that groundedness between the hands, the knees, the tops of the feet. Really just sort of arriving in this neutral position. You might like to sort of just very gently rock the hips from side to side. So we're not really kind of creating a lot of heat here. We're really just being aware of what's going on with the body. So just try to tune into that. What is going on in your body right now? Where are you feeling tightness and tension? So from here, we're going to move into puppy pose. So you may need to kind of walk the knees back just a little bit to give you a bit of space. Now, puppy pose is where you're going to stay in almost like tabletop, except your hands are going to begin to walk forwards. So you're going to slowly, methodically, with intention, just bring your chest down as close as you can to the mat. And you feel a little bit of tightness in the shoulders here. I'm certainly feeling it today, so that's okay. You might not be able to get all the way down to the mat. It's really not what this is about, is it? Just simply use the breath here. And again, where are you feeling that tension? Where are you feeling like you're holding on maybe a little too tightly? Is it possible to drop a little more into this pose? Can you go a little deeper? Could you allow your breath to help you just release a little bit? Let those muscles relax just a little bit. Not asking much here, just a little. As you breathe in, you can almost create like a mini wave in the spine, and as you breathe out, you can drop down just a tad further. Just allowing your body to release what it no longer needs right now. It's okay to let that tension go in the spine, in the shoulders, in the neck. Let's take one more big breath in and breathe it out. Inhale, slowly come back up. Bring those hands back into tabletop position. We're going to thread the needle here. So I'm going to get you to really use your imagination for a moment. Well, the most part of this sequence. Okay, so let's just do thread the needle first, and then we're going to add a bit of imagery as well. With your right hand, as you are engaging your core, you're going to lift that hand up towards the sky, open the chest, and then draw it underneath your left like you are threading a needle. Bend that left elbow and then just bring the side of your face down to the mat. Okay, so let's thread the needle. And you're just going to breathe here. This is really opening up the shoulders. Try to ground down through the tops of the feet. So the feet are kind of engaged as well here. And just notice, are you allowing yourself to drop into this pose, or are you still holding on? Is it possible to just surrender? Is it possible to drop into here, this pose? Can you allow yourself to do that? Take a full breath in. And as you breathe out, just let it go. On your next inhale, just slowly draw your arm back up to the sky, open the chest, and then reach it back down to tabletop. Okay, so we're going to use your imagination now. Your imagination is so incredibly powerful, and it can really assist in helping you to release and let go, surrender what no longer serves you. So as you inhale, again, take your right arm up to the sky, open up the chest. Exhale, drop it underneath the left arm. And now we thread the needle. So instead of staying in this position statically, what I'm going to invite you to do is just imagine just beneath your right hand here. Just imagine that there is the very thing that you are worried about, stressed about, the very thing that is making you feel like you cannot move forward and you just find it challenging to let it go. Imagine that that is right here, just beneath your right hand. Give it a shape. Maybe it's round, maybe it's spiky, maybe it's cubed. Doesn't matter. Use your imagination. And now give it a color. What does it look like? So essentially you are seeing it in your mind's eye. You are giving it a color. And of course, you're feeling what it feels as well. The stress, the anxiety, the worry, the sadness, the grief, all of that is right here beneath your right hand. And in a moment, what you are going to do is you're going to imagine just picking that up. So do that now. Pick it up with your hand. Hold it in your hand. Inhale, bring your arm right back up. And what you're going to do is flick your hand. So you're giving it to the universe. Giving it to the universe. Taking healing energy from the universe, bringing it back down. Let's do that again. Take that thing that's really bothering you, that stress, the anxiety, the worry, the sadness, all of that. Take that with you and then just give it to the universe. There you go. You can have it. And then healing energy back down. Let's do this a couple of times in your own time with your breath as a guide. Really releasing that out to the universe. Let's do that one more time for good measure. Let it go and come down to your tabletop position. Okay, so when you are ready, meet me in downward facing dog. Our first down dog for this practice today. So just take your time. Keep those hips nice and pointed up toward the sky. Tuck the tailbone. Expand those shoulder blades. Externally rotate the elbows just a little bit here. That's going to help with the shoulder blades opening up even more. Pedal out the feet. Take a full breath in through the nose. Open the mouth, stick out your tongue and let it go. Inhale through the nose. Stick out your tongue and let it go. Awesome. Inhale, lift the right leg up to the sky. And then bring it forward as we come into half pigeon. So knee behind the right wrist. Okay, get yourself super comfortable here, as comfortable as you can sometimes in pigeon. And then when you arrive here and you're feeling pretty good, hips are nice and square to the front of the mat, you can drop that back leg down and just sort of slide it back a little bit as you kind of settle into this pose. This is one of my favorite poses to let go and to surrender. And no doubt you are feeling that in the hip region, particularly on the right glute. Adding a nice little gentle lower back bend here. Drawing the shoulders down away from the ears. Sort of not looking up, but just allowing almost like the throat chakra to kind of beam forward. And just check in again, where in your body do you feel tension, if you feel any? Where are you holding on? If this is a little much, you can also grab a folded blanket or a block. Just pop it under the right hip here, okay? So that can really assist as well if this is really feeling a bit funky for you. But if you are really happy here and you'd like to kind of drop into this pose even more, you could come into, it's almost like Sphinx. So think of Sphinx pose. So you can come down onto your forearms like this. That might feel really, really good. That's always a nice little option here. So that's, can sort of stay here and just allow yourself to drop into this pose even more. Or if you want to go even deeper, think of puppy pose like before, as we had your hands or arms out like that, straightening out in front of you and then just dropping the forehead down if that's comfortable. But this is about you listening to your body. So for me today, that's just not really cool. So I'm going to just create almost like a little V with my arms and just rest my forehead beneath that. So we're not trying to get this pose perfect. What you're ultimately doing is just recognizing where you might be holding on to that tension or stress, those feelings that you know they're there, but you might have a struggle to let them go. So can you just allow your body just to sink down, deeper down? Can you soften your jaw, your cheeks, your eyebrows, your entire face, your neck? Use your breath to soften the shoulders here. Let your chest drop even deeper down onto the thigh. Breathe a soothing breath to your right hip crease and the glute. And just let it go.
Take a full breath in. And again, breathe it out. One more inhale. And just let everything dissolve. Slowly raise, if you're not there yet, raise your chest and head up. Tuck your back toes, and we're going to come back into down dog. Nice and gently. Pedal out the feet just so that we can kind of create a bit of space in that hip. And then down onto tabletop. Hands and knees. So hands are nicely spaced so they are shoulder width apart. Hips are nice and spaced. Well, knees are spaced. Hip distance apart. Inhale, drop the belly, open the chest for cow. Exhale, tuck the tailbone, meet the chin to chest, cat. Do this in your own time, more like a flow. Inhale to cow. Exhale down to cat. Be aware of that movement that you're feeling in the body. Be aware of the emotion that you feel around the very thing that you are finding difficult to let go. And just realize that emotion is just energy in motion. Energy in motion. So could you use this particular flow of cat-cow to just move that emotion, move that energy? With intention, with that breath, you let that go as well. Awesome. Pardon me. Inhale, take your left hand up as we thread the needle. Open up the chest here. Exhale, thread the needle beneath the right hand or arm. Rest the side of the face down onto the mat here. Opening the shoulder blade. And really just get yourself comfortable. So if it's still not feeling quite what you want to feel, then you are very welcome to move and make some adjustments. And that's what letting go and surrendering too is. It's adjusting, moving with what we can move with and flow with the energy that we are all collectively experiencing. And when you're feeling settled, just use your breath and just check in. How are you feeling here? Where else in the body may be holding on? Can you allow your body to soften? Can you let it release and let go? So we're going to use your imagination as we did on the other side. So if there is still that thing that you are feeling quite concerned and worried or stressed about, the thing that you are feeling maybe a sense of sadness or even a bit of fear, imagine that sitting beneath your left hand. Give it a shape and a colour. And when you've done that, turn your hand over so that you can take hold of that shape, that very thing that you just want to let go of. And we're going to give it to the universe. So pick it up with your left hand, big breath in, draw your left hands up and just flick, give it to the universe. It's like, I don't want that anymore.
Take some healing energy back down as it nourishes, replenishes your body. Let's do that a few more times with your breath, using your imagery, your third eye, just to imagine just letting it go. Take some beautiful healing energy and bring it back down. Let's do this a few more times. Doesn't that feel good just to let it go? And just know that you got this. You can let things go and manage to change your life at the same time. You've got the abilities, the skills, the strength, the courage. Let's do that one more time. Take what you don't need and let it go. Awesome. Come back down to tabletop. Inhale, we're going to come into downward facing dog once again. Pedaling out those beautiful feet of yours, getting yourself incredibly grounded. Feeling all of that support. Feeling how much your body supports you on this journey. On your next inhale, lift your left leg up and back. And then bring the knee up to the left back of the wrist. Coming into our other half pigeon here. Get yourself really comfortable and ensure that those hips are nice and square to the top of the mat here. When you're sort of feeling like you got this, just release the back leg. Let it slide back a little bit so you can just truly settle into this pose. Don't be surprised if one side of the body feels a little tighter than the other. We all hold different things in different parts of our bodies, so naturally we're going to feel it differently. But the same thing here. How is your body feeling? Where could you relax more? Maybe it's the shoulders. Maybe it's the jaw. Maybe it's your lower back. Maybe it's your hips, or your leg, your knee. Can you use your breath to connect with the thing that you don't want anymore, and can you just allow it to just ease even a little bit? Maybe you're not ready completely today to just go, I'm just going to let it all go and that be it. Maybe that's not what you're truly needing right now. Maybe you just need to let go of a little bit so that you've got a bit more room in your cup for other things. Maybe that's where you're at. So if you're comfortable here and you just sort of want to go even a little more deeper, think Sphinx pose. So coming onto the forearms here. And if that's feeling fine, you could do the puppy pose. Hands out in front. But for me, again, it's the same thing on this side as well. That felt a little funky. So we are just going to do a standard forehead down to the mat style here. And just remember to breathe. I'm just going to remain quiet for a little while, and I'm just going to allow you to sense what you need to sense. And then you can use your own intuition and know what you need to do, what is best for your higher self to release and surrender. Take a full breath in and just softly let it go. And another inhale.
And exhale. Inhale, come back up nice and slowly, very gently and mindfully, with intention. Lift that back leg up so that you can come back down into your down dog. And then down into tabletop as we take a few cat-cows here. So inhale, drop that belly, open the chest, just lift up through the hands, the palms. Exhale, round through the spine, chin to chest for cat. Do this in your own time. Find that movement. Connect with any emotion that you no longer need, that's no longer serving you. And with this movement, can you just imagine it just releasing? Let's take it one more round. Inhale to cow. Exhale to cat. Inhale back to neutral. Drop the bottom down onto the heels as you come into a nice, beautiful child pose. We're just going to stay here for a little bit. Coming back to the breath. Let's check in with how you're feeling once again. The first step to any kind of practice of letting go or surrendering really comes down to awareness. And the body has a beautiful way of telling us when something's not quite right, doesn't it? Often that will show up through you feeling tense, feeling pain, just general soreness or aches. And so it's beautiful. It's so, so beautiful that you are taking the time now just to bring awareness to that. Even if you don't feel ready to let go completely, it's just you being here, connecting with that very thing that the body is trying to tell you. That's the beginning of your healing. So on your next inhale, come back up. And then we're going to come down onto the bottom into Dandasana staff pose. So send those legs out in front of you. Legs out in front of you. Just place your hands by your sides, fingers facing the front of the mat. And just kind of lengthen through here. So you're basically finding like an imaginary line running from sort of the tailbone up through the crown of the head, just to kind of give you a bit of that sense of groundedness, stability, some length, which feels really, really good. And on your next inhale, just sort of sweep the arms up and exhale, forward fold. Don't really be too concerned about where you're landing here. Again, it's not about that. This is all about letting go. Not about getting this pose perfect. By no means. So you may be feeling sensations here in perhaps the lower back, the thighs, the back of the legs. Maybe even the shoulders and the neck. So connect with that. What are you feeling? Use your breath. Direct your breath to where you're feeling that tense sensation the most. So for me, that's my my hamstrings right now. That's where I'm feeling it. So you might be there, or it might be somewhere else. So direct the breath there and just imagine, just visualize in your mind. You can sense or feel or just trust that that breath is able to dissolve the thing that's trying to control, the thing that's trying to hold on tightly in that area of your body. And as you exhale, you are just allowing it to dissolve even further. One big breath in. Let it go with your exhale. Awesome. Slowly come back up.
Now you're going to need your 2 blocks. So if you don't have blocks, feel free to grab your blankets, your folded blankets. I'm going to come into a supported bridge pose. So to do that, bend those knees. You're going to come down onto your back. I'm going to use your imagination for this one as well. Okay, so the first step, take one of the blocks or your folded blanket and just make a note of where you naturally have sort of like your belt or the waistband of your pants, and then lift the hips up so that you can place that block beneath, near the sacrum. Okay, so it should feel comfortable. So if it's not feeling comfortable, you might need to just adjust it a little bit more here. So just kind of check in. Does it feel good? Yes, it does. Okay, so the next part is, this is the important one. This beautiful block or your beautiful blanket is going to go in between your thighs. So just place it just snugly in between here. Okay. Palms down on the mat next to you. Let's just take a few breaths for a moment. Just check in with how you are feeling. So, with that block between your thighs, in fact, how about you close your eyes for this one? I mean, you can keep them open if you want, but maybe that might help. Closing the eyes can really help with the visual aspect of this. So you are feeling that block between the thighs. You're not holding on too tightly here. You're just holding it enough so it's just not going to fall. This block between the thighs is representing the very thing or things that you are holding on to. The very things that you know are not serving you well, are not helping you sustain a happy life. It's not allowing you to feel healthy, not allowing you to feel that sense of vitality. It's not allowing you to relax. And it's not surprising if you feel anger about that you feeling like you cannot move forward, and that can create that sense of anger as well. If you do feel that is fine. It's another emotion. But whatever it is that you're connecting with right now, that block between your thigh represents that. So now that you know that rather than this thing, this emotion, this experience, this memory is no longer in your body, in fact, it's now in the block, I invite you to squeeze your thighs as tight as you can. Squeeze it so tight. Really let that block know that you're not going to hold on to this anymore, that you are done holding on to it. Really squeeze, 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 squeeze. And when you are ready, you're going to release that block nice and gently. and breathe. Take a full breath in through the nose. Stick out your tongue, let it go. Inhale through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Awesome. Inhale, engage your core. Lift your left leg straight up, right leg up. And just feel that support beneath you in the sacrum. Because you know that you've got this. You know that you can handle whatever gets thrown your way. You can handle it. But you have options. You can choose to hold on to it. You can choose to let it go. It is up to you as to what you want to do with it. But you've really got to check in with what is serving you. What is serving your highest purpose here? Take a full breath in. And exhale, release those legs down. Watch out for that block. Lift the hips, slide that other block away. And maybe even take the other block as well. Okay, so we're going to come into reverse pigeon. So it's similar to what we were doing before, but just on our backs. So take your right foot and then bring it over your left thigh. Open up the hip here. This may feel enough, so you're very welcome just to stay in this position. If you want to go a little bit deeper into the hip crease here, you can lift that left leg, sort of bring both legs forwards towards the chest, take hold of the shin, the left shin, or even underneath. So you might like to take hold of the under thigh if that feels good. Kind of coming to sort of the end of the practice and just getting into those little bits that we might not have gotten yet. So keep breathing and feel what you feel. If you've got some tightness still in the glutes, send that breath there. Maybe tightness in the hips, maybe even in the shoulders as well. It's all the awareness. Inhale, set the left foot down. Unwrap your right foot and we take it to the other side. Left foot over this time. Open up the hip here. Stay here if that's super comfortable, or if you like, bring that right leg, draw it close to the chest. Take hold of the shin or the back of the leg. And just listen to what your body's asking for you here. Often our body will tell us when to stop. But it's interesting, sometimes we can actually go even further than our body feels that we can. So it's okay to take it just a little bit beyond that. So not go too crazy with it, but for this pose, for instance, if you want to just press that thigh a little closer to your chest, and if your body's saying no, stop doing that, you can choose to take it just a little bit more, just a little bit. Just extend it just slightly. And it's kind of reminding yourself that you know what, you can do things that maybe you might not think you can. And you can let things go, even if you don't feel like you are ready to do that, or that you are strong enough to do that. And sometimes you can surprise yourself. Okay, inhale, release, let it all go. Okay, take both legs up now to the chest. Into our wind release pose, rock side to side. Take a full breath in and let it go. On your next inhale, bring your forehead up to the knees for a nice squeeze. So squeeze, 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 squeeze everything. Squeeze it all. exhale, let it go into Shavasana. Awesome. All right, just ensure that you're really comfortable here. Rotate those toes outwards. Palms can stay facing up, or if you like, just place them on the belly or the chest or anywhere else that you feel is really, really comfortable. When you have arrived here, roll the shoulders away from the ears. Maybe snuggle the shoulder blades down a little bit. And if you haven't already, close your eyes. And just do a bit of a body scan. So start from the toes and work your awareness up from the toes and just check in with how your body's feeling. So as you go up the legs, how are the legs feeling? Do they need to kind of relax a little more? How are the hips going? What about your lower back? How's that feeling on the mat beneath you? How's those shoulder blades? Are they feeling nice and relaxed? What are the shoulders themselves doing? How are your fingertips? How are they going? Are they feeling nice and relaxed also? Feeling energized? What about your wrists and your forearm? And just check in with the elbows. And all the way up to the neck, the front and the back of the neck. How's that feeling? The base of the skull. Your jaw, your ears, your cheekbones, your eyes, eyebrows, forehead, top of the head. Use your breath just to sort of micro adjust anywhere else in that body, that beautiful, beautiful vessel of yours. Is there anywhere in the body that is feeling like it could just be adjusted just a little bit so that you feel completely and utterly relaxed? I really just want to thank you today for just showing up and just bringing awareness. That first step of letting go and surrendering. And of course, this practice is always available to you. So if there is any other time where you feel like you're holding on to something, you can come back here and connect with that very thing before letting it go. Shavasana is the ultimate time for you to just integrate everything that you've experienced in this practice. So I invite you to stay here for as long as you want, or as long as you can. Sending you so, so much love and so much gratitude for the healing work that you are doing for yourself, which ultimately helps everyone else. Namaste.